Hello and welcome to the 29th, 29th Talks Yanks. I'm your host, Vincent LaRose, and today, or 28th, it's the 28th Vinny Talks Yanks, my bad. And today, let's get into it. Yankees went on record day again, which is really nice. This is my boy Frankie. He's homeless. Why'd you stick your nub up? He's homeless. We're going... We're going to a car meet later today, so he's just chilling out at my house after... Oh, now the dogs are barking, Frankie.
I'll eat them up, don't worry.
You can't say that. Oh my god. Anyways, like I said, Yankees went on record day again, which is nice. I apologize about the dogs. I like the raw editing. It's funnier. It's way better. So yeah, that's nice. Jazz Chisholm Jr., amazing. Almost hurt himself today, but he did come back into the game, which is good to see. I didn't watch today's game because after yesterday I wanted to shoot myself, so I decided to take a break from today, and of course that's when we decided to score 12 runs, so maybe I need to stop watching every game. But anyways, let's get into it. We'll start off like normal as always today in Yankees history. So on this day in Yankees history, in a doubleheader against the Senators, Joe DiMaggio breaks the American League consecutive game hitting streak of 41 with getting game 42 in a doubleheader. Game 1 he hits 41, and then game 2 he hits a single off Walt Masterson to break the record in the top or bottom, I don't remember the top or bottom, but he hits a single in the 7th against Walt Masterson. I guarantee everybody knows who that is because I definitely knew who that was. No, I didn't. And yeah, he breaks the all-time record and his 56-game hit streak. So that was he broke the American League record at the time. So yeah, that's a pretty cool thing. So let's get into the injury and roster room. So J.C. Scar never actually went on the paternity list, but he came back today, so he returns. Luis Hill continues to throw live BP, and he is scheduled to throw a 30-pitch live BP, I believe tomorrow or or maybe Tuesday. And then after that, they're gonna schedule a rehab start, and then Stroman is activated today, and they send Alan Winans back down to the minors. So let's get straight into game 1. So on game 1, Warren takes the mound in the opener against the A's, pitching 5 innings with 2 hits, 4 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Struggling in the first, but getting out of the jam and continuing to go 5 scoreless innings. With Warren, you want to see him go deeper into games, but you can't be too upset with that, with what the kind of jam he was in the first, and being able to get out of it and still being able to go 5 innings without giving up a run is really nice. So the offense really doesn't get going, but they do start with a Jazz solo shot in the second. We love Jazz. And then a Bellinger RBI single in the third, and then DJ would get an RBI single in the fourth, and that would end the scoring for the day. So we didn't really score much today. We had a lot of chances too in that first game, in game 1, not today, in game 1. So it's unfortunate, but the bullpen comes in after Warren, going 4 innings, going from Hill to Cruz to Weaver to Williams, with Williams getting the save, and the Yankees 3-0 win. So we take game 1 in the series, which is nice because for game 1, obviously Thursday with the off day, the Rays were able to get half a game. Get from half a game from first place, so we really did need to win, and then the Rays lost, so it was a really good way to start. But anyways, let's get into the very awesome and wonderful game 2 that I definitely didn't get really angry at. So Schmidt takes the mound as he looks to continue his scoreless inning streak. He goes 6 innings, his streak stops, giving up 4 runs on 4 hits, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. He ends up giving up 2 homers this game, which he hasn't done since the beginning of the season, and his streak ends at 27.1 innings in a row. What a great streak from Smith. I mean, it got his ERA. His ERA was in the mid-4s. It got it all the way down to almost a 3. So that's really good to see from Schmidt as he continues to get better. I know he struggles a little bit in this game, but he still goes 6 innings, giving us length, which is nice. It's really, I don't really want to completely blame it on Schmidt. 4 innings is really not a quality, or 4 runs, in 6 innings, not a great, on a 100% quality start, but for a team that scores almost 5 runs a game, that shouldn't be too much of an issue, and we couldn't score a single guy. We have more shutouts this season than I believe the last 2 seasons combined, and 23 was a terrible season. So it's just I don't know. The offense is so streaky. It's frustrating. Like I said, they wouldn't score a single run. The bullpen comes in and struggles. Well, Yes, no, not this game. So the bullpen comes in struggles. They give up 3, starting with Hamilton. Throws a scoreless inning, and then he weirdly stares down Wilson, the shortstop. I don't know what my camera's doing right now. All right, that was weird. But he stares down Wilson after getting the final out in the 7th. It was kind of weird. Wilson kind of like was confused. Judge runs in and like questions it. And they were just talking. My assumption is Hamilton just kind of like I don't even know what to really say about it. He just stares him down, and Wilson just looks really confused. It was really weird. I mean, I wouldn't want to fight Hamilton. He looks like literally like an Italian goon. So yeah, I'm good. But I just thought it was just kind of weird, to be honest. But after Hamilton, Alan Winans would come in, throwing 2 innings, and he gives up 3 runs on 3 hits, 2 walks, and 2 Ks, and that would finish off the Yankees' loss 7-0. Again, Yankees don't score any runs this game. They continue to struggle with guys in scoring position. It was a really tough watch, and it was the reason I decided not to watch today's game, because it ruined my day yesterday. Truthfully, I gotta let that stop happening. But them losing just on a weekend too, when I don't have to work, it's tough to watch, and then it was aggravating. But whatever. We'll get into Game 3. Game 3, we wake up. So Showman comes off the IL. He gets the start. He goes 5 innings, giving up 3 hits and 1 run with 2. I put 2 Ks. He had 2 walks and 1 strikeout. Strikeout numbers are a little bit concerning. I mean, he still has an over 8 ERA on the season. I know he struggled a lot in AAA, or I think it was AA, in his rehab starts. But, he did enough, and that's what I'll say. But the offense finally wakes up. They score 12, starting with another Jazz homer in the 2nd. We love Jazz. And then in the 3rd, Jazz clears the bases with an RBI triple. We love Jazz. He finally, Jazz is trying really hot right now. He would then score on a wild pitch for the Yankees in the 5th, so Jazz would score again. And then in the 4th, Judge would tack on his 29th homer of the year with a 2-run homer. Bellinger would follow him up in the 5th with a 3-run bomb of his own, giving the Yankees the 10-1 lead at the time. And then Judge would finish up the scoring with another 2-run homer in the 7th. This one was crushed to left center field, and that would end the Yankees scoring for the day. The bullpen would come in, and Brubaker would struggle, but other than Brubaker, they look good. So Brubaker would only getting 1 out, giving up 4 runs. He gives up 2 runs, he either gives up 1 or 2. And Loizaca comes in, gets the next 2 outs. He gets 2 ground balls. I think 2 more runs score, but those are on Brubaker. Jazz made an insanely good play at third base to save like the really big inning from the A's. If I could find that clip, I'll show it. He just looks so good at third base, and he's an all-around great player, man. I love Jazz. But it would go from Loizaca, then to Hill, to Hamilton, to Weaver. Weaver finishes the game off in a Yankees 12-5 win and a series win. A series win was big here. I really think we should have swept the A's. The A's have not played good baseball. Their defense is completely awful, and their offense is starting to fall off a little bit. I know they came out of a good series against Houston, but it was off 2 walk-off home runs from Nick Kurtz. And, so not a great... You're happy with the series win, of course. You're happy with the win today going into Toronto, but we should have swept them, truthfully. But it is what it is, man. But let's get into a little bit about Jazz. I've been talking about him the whole video. So Jazz goes... Jazz in his last 30 games is hitting .311, 6 home runs, 21 RBIs, and a .553 slugging while continuing to play the awesome defense. He went on a check swing today to strike out in his 3rd at bat, and it looked like he bent his wrist a little bit, but he ends up coming back in the game, so nothing too huge. If I can find the slow motion, so you can actually watch when he. Usually guys check swinging like that, they'll drop their top, or I think it's their top hand off the bat. I think it's his top hand on the bat, and it kind of just stays there, and it crushes his wrist a little bit. I think he just got hurt in the moment and feared that he did something bad. He immediately went to the locker room, but he came back out the next inning. So hopefully there's nothing there. But let's get into Schmidt too. So I know Schmidt throws 27.1 straight innings. It's technically 27.2, but they only count 20. Whatever. It's weird how they count it. But 27.1 innings of scoreless baseball, which is nice. Schmidt is really starting to come into his own. He's pitching very well. I really like his his thought process now. They were talking to him about it, where he's really going, and he's trying to just get outs. He's not going for the best pitch, the best stuff, the strikeout every single time. He's just trying to get outs, which is working really, really well. So if he continues to do that, he's going to be a great pitcher, man. You have a really good defense. I mean, they're not amazing as like we thought they were going to be coming into the season, but they're still a really good defense. I think top 5 in defensive runs saved this season. So put the ball in play, let them get the outs, and continue to pitch deep into games. Schmidt's really big problem was walks. It's him and Warren have the same issue sometimes where they can't get away from walks. They're good about not having the huge inning, not giving up the big inning and letting the other team score a lot of runs off them. But they can't stop walking guys, and eventually that's going to bite back, and we see later in the game it bites back because they have to come out in the 5th or 6th inning when they can go much deeper into games, making the bullpen work a little bit harder. So, but you have to be content with Schmidt and how he's pitched. I know game 2 wasn't the greatest start, but it's not like he got destroyed. He gave up a solo shot, and then he just made one bad pitch with a man on first and second, giving up a homer. It happens to the best of us, but I'm really happy with how he's been playing. I also want to talk a little bit about Judge's season stats. So I know Judge was struggling up until today. He hits 2 homers today, but he's now hitting .356 with 30 homers, 67 RBIs, and a 1.180 OPS, and this is all before the All-Star break. It's just, his numbers are stupid right now. Judge is playing out of his mind. I wish he would be a little bit more consistent. Judge is a lot better than some other guys like Volpe or even Jazz in the past. Right now it seems to be an extended stretch, but he has a problem, or in the past he's been a lot better with hitting consistently good over the entire season. Right now it seems like he's getting into these like weak streaks where one week he's out of his mind and the next week he's cold. So I'm really not upset about it, truthfully. I mean, like I said, he's hitting .356 with 30 homers. He's playing good. If he stayed more, you can't even complain, man. I can't even say stay more consistent. He's just so good. I don't really know what else to say about Judge. I'm happy with how Judge is playing. His defense also has been very good as well. There's nothing else to say about Jazz. We all know, or just Jazz, Judge. There's nothing to say about Judge. We all know about Judge. But so obviously outside of today, the Yankees scored 12 runs today. But in the past games, we're still struggling with runners in scoring position, and we're still struggling with strikeouts. We're striking out way too much, and we're striking out in important times of the game, and we're not getting hits with runners in scoring position. So like today, they did. They played well. But, game 1 Friday and game 2 Saturday, like they couldn't get the hit with the guy in scoring position. It's been a recent trend since this like streak has started with the Yankees. It's really just the month of June. We're so bad in the month of June. But somebody's got to figure it out. I know Boone talks about, bunting is a point, but he was saying a bunting is pointless when you're away in extra innings, but I think the Yankees just need to have a little bit more like team hitting, hitting the ball to the right side with a man on second and no outs, or not so much 1 out because you're at 2 outs at that point anyways, but with no outs and a man on second, hitting it to the other side, getting the base running, improving the base running. The base running has been terrible, and just getting a hit in big moments. We haven't been able to do much of that this season. I know we scored 12 runs today, but most of our runs are scored when we're up by, I know we're up 1-0 and Jazz hits the triple, but that point on, those runs, obviously I want to score runs, don't get me wrong, but those are all runs. They're not detrimental if we don't get those runs, and if you guys know what I mean, we have a lead, we have an issue with scoring runs when we're down. And the Yankees haven't come back from down by 3 the entire season. Granted, they don't get down by 3 a lot. I think there's only 19 games this season. We just played our 82nd game. There's 19 games this season. Only 19 times have we been down by 3 or more. But when we get down, we don't come back, and that's the issue with this team. They just can't get the hit in the big moment. We get hits when we're tied, or maybe when we're down by 1 even. I know Grisham, most of his home runs have actually come with down by 1 or when we're tied. But they need to get a little bit better about hitting with guys in big moments. So and striking out, like they strike out way too much with guys on second base and no outs. Guys, like when we get a leadoff guy on base. I remember, I think it was I said Monday again. Jesus Christ! It was Friday's game. We had the bases loaded. We scored bases loaded, nobody out. We only score 1 run, and then we strike out 3 times. I just that cannot happen. We can't continue to do that. We're not gonna win. We're not gonna win big games like that. You know, I know we win games like against the A's. You know, the A's are still trying to find themselves. You know, after being horrible for the past couple of years, they're a little bit better this year, but like. We're never going to win games like that. So I really think the offense needs to figure it out. But today's win was very important. The Rays actually lose today against the Orioles. Thank you, Orioles. You're so bad. It doesn't matter if you beat the Rays. Please beat the Rays every time you play them. You're terrible this year. I know we actually lost the series to you guys, which is absolutely despicable. But thank you, Orioles. We get a game. We're now a game and a half up on the Rays, and we need to continue to create space. The Rays are a team, every single year, everybody counts them out. Everybody says, no, this is finally their demise. This is finally where they fall off. Dude, they're playing out of their mind right now. As the Yankees have a terrible June, the Rays have a great June. And that's coming in from May as well. They had a good end to their May. So we need to create space between us because as we have witnessed now, we've now all witnessed this. Anytime we go into a slump, it can go crazy. And they've done it in the past. So I really want them to just get space because the Rays make me nervous, truthfully. I don't know why, but they've always made me nervous, but they make me very nervous. And then the last thing I want to get into, I want to give my props to Will Warren, man. Will Warren, you know, coming into the season, shouldn't even have been on the Major League roster. With all the injuries, he struggled to start the season. He was terrible against the Dodgers. I was even at the time like, all right, this is probably where he falls off. So Will Warren actually has one of the highest strikeout percentages in baseball, and he has the most strikeouts looking in baseball, which is crazy to me. I would never have thought that. You know, I didn't even look this stat up. I just heard them talking about it and his start on Friday night. Kudos to you, Will Warren. I know the problem with the strikeouts looking is that sometimes turns into walks, as we've seen with Warren, and he's had a little bit of walk trouble, command trouble, and it usually is in the first couple of innings and then the very end. Like his middle innings from like maybe 2nd to the 5th, he's pretty good, but once he hits the 6th or in the 1st, he just struggles with command and struggles with walks. But I still want to give my kudos to him because he's pitched very well for what we've needed. He's pitched well, and what we've asked for, he's pitched very well. And I'm very happy with Warren, and I think later in the season, maybe when Heel comes back, if there's no more injuries, I think he's probably pushed off. I don't really know. Truthfully, when Yarbrough comes back, I see him going back into that long man role with Stroman back in the rotation. I don't know. I mean, you'd have to wait, obviously, for who's pitching, how they're going at the time Heel comes back. But as of right now, I'd much rather Warren in the rotation than Stroman. I don't know if the Yankees trade Stroman, truthfully. I don't know if they get off of him. Because we're successful without him. We do not need him to have a successful pitching staff, and I don't think he's really a benefit in the bullpen or in the starting rotation. I think he's more of a liability than anything. I know he pitched well today, but again, he has an over 80 ERA in the season. He struggled in Double-A. I don't see Stroman working out. I'd much rather see. I know Warren won't pitch in the postseason, but I'd much rather see Warren go the full length than Stroman finished a way out after coming off the IL. But I don't really know what they decide to do there. I think they're probably going to go more for the time. Maybe we trade one of the two. I hope we don't trade Warren, but maybe we trade somebody to get a piece back, and then I don't know. I don't know what happens when Heel comes back, but I'm hoping, as of now at least, with how it's going now, I hope Warren gets the opportunity to stay in the rotation. I'd much rather see that than Stroman. What are you looking at?
I don't know. You're looking pretty cute today.
This fucking guy. Oh my god. That's where I'm gonna end it. So thank you for everybody who watched. I hope you all have a wonderful day, wonderful night, whatever time, good morning, good day at work, whatever it is. Have a good day, and thank you for watching. Go Yankees, and oh my God, go Yankees, man.